Hey everybody, angryponcho here doing a Let's Play of Pokemon FireRed. In the last episode we finally arrived in Celadon City, gave the tea to the guard, and just generally fooled around. But I mentioned I might be doing some off-screen leveling, and I did actually. And things have changed quite a lot. As you can see, all the Pokemon now are level 30 and they all have nicknames. Now, as well as leveling up, a bunch of them learn different moves. I've re-nicknamed Magneton Metalhead, and yeah, it evolved from a Magnemite to a Magneton, which is pretty cool. And it knows basically the same moves still: Thunderbolt, Thunder, Thunder Wave, and Flash. The next Pokemon is Gengar, which I've nicknamed Casper. It was a Ghastly last time you saw it. It actually evolved twice. I evolved it at level 25 and then again at level 30. So it went right through the Haunter stage, right into Gengar. And then basically just only change in its actual way it's put together is its stats increased when it leveled up both of those times. So now its special attack is much higher than before, and its health as well. It knows the same 4 moves. And then there's Dragonair. It was level 14 Dratini, the lowest and weakest Pokemon in the party, and now it's actually a decent Pokemon. I've nicknamed it Crate. I'll come back to these nicknames. And then there's it actually learned 2 decent moves. It learned Twister and Dragon Rage, which are both Dragon-type moves. And Twister is can make the foe flinch, and it's basically an attack with 40 power. It's kind of like the Ember of Dragon-type moves. And then there's Dragon Rage, which is a fixed damage move. It's always going to do 40 points of damage, basically no matter what. And then there's Rhynoc. Rhyhorn, I renamed it Rhynoc, and it really hasn't changed much. It just went up a few more levels. It may not have known Rock Blast. Yeah, it learned Rock Blast while you guys were out. And that's just a move that's kind of like a multi-hit move. It does 25 damage for each hit, and it can hit up to 5 times. So it actually can do 125 damage if you get lucky. At minimum, it does 50 damage. So it's a decent move. I prefer to use a Rock Slide because it's a more consistent way to get damage. It's actually slightly better than Rock Blast, because on average Rock Blast will do 75 damage. But it has only 80 accuracy, whereas Rock Slide has 90 and can make the foe flinch. Incidentally, Stomp can also make the foe flinch. I'm not sure why Rhynoc learns those sort of moves, but that's how it goes. And I've renamed it Exeggutor Dr. Eggman. And basically the same as before. I don't think it learned any new moves. It just leveled up as its stats are increasing every level. And then there's Nessie. Oh, I renamed my Lapras Nessie. After the Loch Ness Monster, of course. And it learned Perish Song, which is a move where if you use it in a battle, any Pokemon that is out on the battlefield during that when you use the move will faint in 3 turns just spontaneously. So it doesn't do damage like a curse, and it doesn't get progressively worse or anything like poison or toxic or something. They automatically faint after 3 turns. All of a sudden they just faint. And it counts down. It says your Perish Song, your Perish count was 3, and then it goes down to 2, and then 1, and then you faint. It tells you every turn where you stand. But here they are in order of health points. Metalhead and Casper have the lowest, only 79. Crate has 83. Rhynoc has 94. Dr. Eggman has 103, and Nessie has 126. They're all level 30, so you can kind of see what the spread goes here, where Nessie has almost double that of Casper and Metalhead, but not quite. As far as evolutions go, we've almost reached the end of our evolutionary pattern. 4 of my 6 Pokemon have already reached their final evolutions. Metalhead, Casper, Dr. Eggman, and Nessie are all their final evolutions now, so we've got those 8 attack types out of the way. Rhynoc, we're waiting for it to evolve at level 42 into a Rhydon, and then it will finally be able to learn Cut. And Crate, we're waiting to evolve at level 55, and it will finally be able to learn Fly once it evolves into a Dragonite. And let me explain these nicknames real fast. I just chose Metalhead because there's really not any good names for Magneton, and Metalhead just kind of made sense because he's made of metal. Maybe he likes metal music as well. And Gengar, nicknamed him Casper, of course, because he's a ghost-type Pokemon, and Casper is probably one of the most well-known ghosts in the world. And then there's Crate. Now this is a Dratini and Dragonair and Dragonite are Dragon-type Pokemon, and I've named them Crate after the Crate dragons from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I'm sure if you played that game, you know which dragons I'm talking about. They're just huge monsters. But, yeah, named it Crate. And then there's Rhinoc. I've named it Rhinoc after, I think they were actually villains in a Spyro game, Spyro the Dragon. There's a lot of dragon references here. But I like it because it actually has, you know, starts with Rye, and refers to the fact that this is obviously Pokemon type, archetype based on a Rhino. So I want to have that in there. And then there's Dr. Eggman, my Executor now named after a Sonic villain. I'm sure you guys know him. I'm really not sure why he was called Dr. Eggman. Maybe it's just because he's kind of an egghead. He's like a scientist villain. And he's also kind of shaped like an egg. I guess he's kind of fat. And then Lapras is now named Nessie just because it's obviously modeled after the Loch Ness Monster. And Nessie is what the nickname for Loch Ness Monster is. Alright, so that's how the Pokemon have changed. I'll see you guys in the next video when we finally get back to business.